cheering is dying down now, and I think we have a new candidate, and we have a new favorite vegetable, which is asparagus. Let's go back to the stage.
I moved to Manchester in about 1986 to go to university, and just had more records than anyone else, I guess. So when I was at university, I just did a lot of people's parties and, you know, kind of get-togethers and things like that, and just annoyed the hell out of everyone by playing records to people. Because I'm sort of been in the dance music scene since its beginnings, really, as a kind of fan and then as a sort of DJ. You don't really appreciate how far it's moved until you kind of take stock, and now, because it's like 10 years on since 1988, everyone's sort of taking stock and going, oh my God, you know, how things have changed and how far things have come. You know, early acid house records are just about rocking a dance floor, and it is to some extent still, but like you say, people became more mature and felt they could make albums. City Delirious is like, it's an urban soundtrack. It's an album describing certain specific anecdotes in Manchester, and one of the songs on the album, called Canal Heist, is inspired by this canal. It's a tribute to the ingenuity of Manchester people. The studio was built by the side of a canal with all the latest security arrangements, metal doors, alarms, cameras. However, they weren't prepared for scally ingenuity, which involves building a raft, rafting down the ship canal, breaking in through the back and moving the studio equipment down the canal. So I thought that was worthy of a tune. Yeah, my beginnings were working at Eastern Bloc, really. That's how I encountered a lot of people. That's how I started my musical career as well, because they had a band on their label called the Mad Jacks, who are a little indie band, and they wanted a dance remix doing of it. This was the time when dance remixing was really a new thing. It was like the idea of taking records apart and remixing them for dance floors was just starting. And I just said, I'll have a go. I'd never been in a studio in my life before. I don't, you know, no idea how studios worked at all. And that went pretty well. And it was a series of happy coincidences where their management was managed by a band, the same management as a band called Yargo. And so I did a Yargo remix, and they knew the Inspiral Carpets, and Inspiral Carpets asked me to do a remix, also a Manchester band. And they were signed to the same label as Erasure, and then the people at Mute Records, that was, liked my stuff, and I ended up doing an Erasure remix. This was like about sort of 7 months after doing my first remix. I was starting to remix bands like Erasure, so it was just like a roller coaster. And that tends to be that's how my career started, really. I was running the Spice Club in Manchester, and then subsequently the Most Excellent Club in Manchester, both of which became the focal point for a lot of people who went on to become great celebrities. We'd have the likes of Tom and Ed, Chemical Brothers, Noel Gallagher, members in Spiral Carpets, New Order type of people, all sorts of local pop celebrities would come down. Just because it was a real sort of time of abandon, and it was a Babylonian period for Manchester, really. I like music that's kind of quite raw and it's got a certain amount of passion to it, and kind of soul in the broadest possible sense. So, you know, from people like Etta James, Weldon Irving, soundtrack music. So there's a lot of different influences. I mean, on City Delirious, there's obviously elements of constant influence to Lionrock. Has always been a reggae, really. I mean, there's Rude Boy Rock on the record, and I'm very influenced by Studio One records. I've always had a fascination with the 60s and spy things, and somehow that's led on to all things detective. The first album had a Sherlock Holmes on the cover, and Sherlock Holmes is something that's become a real fascination for me. And I think it's in his sharp suits, mainly. That's what I like most about him. I'm very open-minded about the future, really. I don't want to make too many firm plans, because I think spontaneity is much more interesting. We're going to play a few festivals, doing Creamfields, a Phoenix Festival, a few festivals around Europe maybe. We're also going to do a sort of sound system tour, which is more like it'll be me and Roger and MC Busby taking a sort of reggae-style sound system, taking decks and effects, provide a sort of night's entertainment, more than a traditional live thing. But we will be doing live gigs as well. So I don't know, there's a lot of things we're doing. We've got a new single out in the UK called Scatter and Swing. I'll be writing lots of new stuff, trying to get another album together before the end of the year. And just keep myself out of trouble, really.